Some of the things that get me more in horror movies is not necessarily scenes, but images. And whenever I work graveyard shifts, I always get in a really dark and spooky mood. So I figured, why not us do a video on that and capture some of the things that creep me out beyond belief. These are the things that when I go to bed at night, these are the images that are stuck in my head. So let's look at some of what I think are the most disturbing images ever in horror films. So the first one comes through this found footage movie called Megan is Missing. Now, I remember seeing Megan is Missing way before it blew up on the internet or TikTok. It just happened to be thrown on Netflix around 2010 or 11, maybe even 12, but I just remember putting it on late at night one night and being absolutely creeped out by the story. Now, the director talked about making this a movie that would warn parents about the dangers of talking to people on the internet for your kids and to keep an eye on them because stuff like this could happen. Now, what you're seeing is an image of Megan after she's been brutally damaged. Let's just say that. I can't use certain words on YouTube. And that was what was left of her in a barrel. Now, just note, as real as that looks, that is from a movie and it's fake. But Megan is Missing completely disturbed me. With the ending of the film being the second victim being dumped into the barrel alive with Megan while the perpetrator buried them. And that's the ending of the movie. If you haven't seen Megan is Missing, I implore you to brace yourself because it is one of the most brutal found footage movies I've ever seen. Okay, so we're going to go to another found footage image on this list. This one comes from one of my favorite movies, but again, it's almost too real in its approach. That's a movie called The Poughkeepsie Tapes. This is another found footage movie in that documentary style where we're talking about this alleged serial killer in the Poughkeepsie, New York area. And one of the things he would do is once he had his victims tied up and everything, he would almost play like this really macabre dress up with them. He himself would wear plague doctor masks on and crawl into the basement room where he would torture these poor women. And this is one of the masks he would put on one of the victims. This almost lifeless, faceless mask. I almost wonder if that was a way for him to desensitize himself to what he was doing. All in all, the Poughkeepsie Tapes is a disturbing found footage movie that I really like, but that image of that mask on that girl's face, it just stays with me. Okay, we got one more found footage image, but this one's really cool. The next one is from a movie called Gonjiam the Haunted Asylum. Now, this is a movie that I saw making the rounds on TikTok or something. TikTok's actually not that bad of a social media app, and we might actually talk a little about it more in this video. But Gonjiam the Haunted Asylum is a really great Asian horror found footage film, and one of the things that stuck out to me so much was this. This image with those black eyes got me. It just got me. I admit, I'm somewhat of a chicken, but that's what I love about horror movies. I love that feeling of being alive and terrified of the stuff I'm seeing, and Gonjiam the Haunted Asylum is chock full of it. This is a really good found footage film if you're into that genre, and has some great visual haunting images. Check that one out. Okay, so speaking of TikTok, this is a movie that started getting a lot of traction on TikTok, and I had to watch it. This is a movie from 2018, and it's actually on Tubi, called Possum. Now, this is a really, really good movie, and one of the things that stuck with me are some of the images. This image right here, I'm going to keep this spoiler-free, but this image from Possum 2018, I didn't sleep for 2 or 3 nights thinking about this image. I can't describe what it is about it. There's context in the movie, of course, but again, I'm keeping it spoiler-free because it's kind of a hidden movie, I feel. But it stuck with me. It just makes my skin crawl. This is a hell of a movie, and that image just gets to me. It's images for me. God damn. Stuff gets burned into my brain. Okay, so this is an image that, for a lot of us, we may not think about this as a scary thing, but I don't know what it is about this image, guys. If you would put this on my TV in the middle of the night and just kept it on, it would just start to creep me out more and more and more. And it's actually an American horror film that came out in the last 5 or 6 years, I believe. In the movie Sinister, when we see the footage of the pool, and we see the figure in the water, I don't know what it is about that it disturbs me so bad. I'll just continuously think about this in the middle of the night sometimes, and I'll keep myself up. This is why I have to sleep with the TV on or listen to music or a podcast while I'm trying to sleep, because the silence brings in these images into my mind. And I know that there are a lot of fans for Sinister, but in this image I think is a big standout for a lot of reasons. But when I think of a pool anytime now, I don't like to be around him at night because I think that he's down in that pool and it just creeps me out. So yeah, that always gets me. Okay, and the last image that I want to talk about that is burned in my brain, and it totally disturbed me the first time I saw it, and quite frankly it still does. In 2006, my parents rented this big movie that came out that a lot of people were talking about. It was called Silent Hill. Now, this is a video game that got adapted into a horror film, but I had never played the video game, so I went into this movie simply as that, just this movie. And there's a lot of beautiful, haunting, scary images from Silent Hill. But the thing that ruined me, and I still think about it to this day, is when she opens that bathroom stall and she sees this person bent backwards, his feet and arms tied back as far as they can go, wrapped in barbed wire with "I dare you" in blood written on the wall. That image stuck with me for the entirety of 2006. I never slept the rest of the year. Then he starts moving in that scene too, and he's making all these crazy sounds and flailing his tongue around, but it's the image that you first see that sticks with me. That is one of the scariest images to me that I'd ever seen, and it still sticks with me till this day. I gotta stop thinking about this stuff, because what's gonna happen is after I try to go to sleep tonight, all this stuff's gonna be in my brain, and the more you think about it and the more you linger on it, it almost starts to creep into the room with you at night. At least it does for me. So the next time you are going to bed, if you have a swimming pool in your backyard, think about this and just pray he's not in there. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video and taking this kind of a spooky trip with me. What is an image from a horror film that is burned into your brain that downright gets you freaked out? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. If you're not subscribed, please ding that bell down there as well, and you'll be notified on the next spooky video. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Hey, a huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.